Perfectly normal radio. It sounds a little something like this.
So, is it easier to love or be loved? I think no.
I opt for no as well.
Yeah.
Welcome to Perfectly Normal Radio, where we're learning about pacing. If it were up to me, I'd give you the Ludovico treatment and pump this into you so fast that Lawnmower Man would come and eat your brain, glue you to a chair and make you understand. But that would be rude. If we really want you to understand, and we really want you to understand, we have to consider you, and how it is that these many layers of jokies and pokies and very much hokies can go from our brains to your brains. No matter how maddening it is that you do not see what we see how we see it, or value what we value when we choose to value it, that's fine, because we're all on the same dream team. We are all some quirky motherfuckers, just like these nuts.
Hey, so speaking of the dream team, what was Michael Keaton in the hospital for?
Because he's fucking angry. Kicks people's asses and stuff.
I always didn't understand. Him and Christopher Lloyd's characters, I always forgot why they were in the mental hospital. Like, I know the bigger guy was crazy.
The bigger guy was a preacher who'd get naked.
The guy that was in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But no, the other guy that...
Flounder...
Yeah, Flounder.
Flounder was shy. Flounder was shy and didn't talk.
That's why they were in the mental hospital?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you can't have them, like, be cutters and shit. It's a fucking lighthearted 80s comedy.
No,
I mean, the worst thing that happens is, like, there's the bad guys who are gonna shoot them with the silenced pistols.
Yeah, it always sounds like needles.
Then you can just have the person's shirt rip open a little bit because they make
Very clean cuts.
they make the wounds close themselves in a very convenient manner.
Oh, we forgot to mention what was wrong with Christopher Lloyd's character. Well, two of his students accidentally killed him with a spell from Backwards Metal album, and then eventually more accidentally raised him from the dead with his head detached, and then his grandfather impregnated him and then had him institutionalized to avoid a scandal. I'm going to admit that I do not entirely understand the term lighthearted, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this could be. That's what I came up with for damage control, because in this second part of Living Room, I didn't really make the distinction between when I'm referring to the different subcultures in Seattle, and then when I'm bitching about the same group dynamic problems that just rot away at every group of people I've ever even heard of. And while I'm not asking you to go through the least amount of effort to excuse me, it'd be a damn shame for my wandering context to fuck up yours or any other's game. You know, you can't say everything in every way, and we're all trained to think in sound bites. Sigh. Is this just what happens? Is this a big deal?
This is just what happens. It's not a big deal.
It seems to be just picking kind of a random adjective and then clicking up about it and then excluding somebody. Because it always seems to me like the big definition for all these things and people and groups and whatnot is that they can form together to exclude. Because
that's true.
What's the point of, like, this is my gay lesbian bowling team if you let the straight guy on?
Yeah.
You know, then you haven't done anything. What's the point of, like, forming your whatever group if you can't have some weird leadership struggle and have, like, you know, Nancy ate the last bite of Tom's apple pie and therefore she is a miserable communist or anti whatever stands
Whichever
on,
one.
yeah, whichever one fits. You know, it's that kind of. It seems to be the same old bullshit high school drama.
But I think that's why it just keeps getting subdivided and subdivided,
Yep.
because you can't be a hero as part of a faction where the struggle is already over. Like, nobody's a hero for being gay because it's just a fucking thing. It doesn't matter anymore.
Especially in fucking
People are
Seattle.
gay. You know what I mean? No big deal. We're all cool with it, and so you can't be gay and be a hero anymore. Like, now you have to be the next thing down the list. And then it just gets pushed farther and farther until you're like, what oppressed fucking minority group do I want to construe myself as being a part of so that I can fight against the fucking power? Like, let's just all be fucking cool with everybody. Like, that dream exists, and the way you do it is by just fucking watching TV or something. Like, sit around and play Xbox. It's that easy to be open-minded. You don't even have to know it exists.
Yep.
You don't have to fucking approve or of it. You don't even have to know it's out there. Like, stop trying to push your shit in my face to make me make a decision.
You know, if you want to be the most, ardent PC warrior, you just have to be apathetic.
Yeah.
You just have to not care.
It really is true.
There's gay black men adopting white female babies. So
I'm just sick of being forced to form an opinion on shit I don't care about. When I feel like not caring about it is the most genuine opinion in the world.
Well, because it's almost like, somebody created a thing and wants you to approve of it. The problem is they didn't actually create anything. They're just aggravating you.
Whatever. Just do your thing. I don't care. I really don't. Why is that not okay with you? Just do it. Just
It always
do what
seems...
you do.
It always seems to be one of those sort of like, you want to be the big fish in the small pond. You want to be able to freaking, I don't know. I guess with a lot of those people. I mean, I don't know because I don't care to belong to stuff.
No, of course not. But that's, a common enough sort of psychological motivation.
And I think you see it all the time in any kind of clique or group. Like, whether it be friends, a clique of friends who think they're friends, a workplace, softball team. I don't know, man. I don't know why people are so addicted to those kind of dynamics where it's like, oh, that's the leader, that's the troublemaker, that's the blah, 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 that's the up-and-comer, that's,
That's
everyone's
the
got
cute
their
one.
part, right? We can all go home then, right?
That's the cute one, that's the bad boy.
Yeah. I'm both the quiet one and the funny one.
I think that it's just, you just want to...
It's dull people.
Yeah. Like, if I wanted to be great at video games, like, am I going to go play Street Fighter? Fuck no, because that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But if I play some obscure game that came out yesterday that nobody's ever heard of, I could be real fucking shit hot at it. Because, like, the pool of competition is much smaller. I'm not trying to say that it has anything to do with that, but I know that that is a common human motivation.
It's definitely there. Because it's not like any of this stuff is new. Like, nothing about it. And the more I talk to, like, the different groups, factions, whatever, that I run into in the PC war zone, like, it's, yeah. Like, what you get out of it is reminding yourself not to bother with it in the future. That's what you get, is you get a confirmation of your first thought of, this is not worth my time.
Yeah, like, that's what I was doing to begin with before I climbed all the way down this goddamn rabbit hole, and then when I popped out, I was right back where I started. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
How much time did I waste on this fucking goddamn bullshit journey? I still don't care. I'm still just as open-minded and apathetic as I always was. Are you happy? Great. You don't need my approval. You don't need me to know about it. All you need me to do is not actively oppress you. Which, guess what?
Done.
Done. It was already done.
Didn't know you existed before just now.
It's been done. Fuck off. I don't like it, man.
It always seems like you run into the same shitball people who fill in those same shitball spots in any of those groups that are not based around getting anything real accomplished or just are fun people.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely true.
And at the same time, I'm kind of glad these people have gone and labeled themselves. And I don't mean label themselves as in, like, now there's 900 labels, but, like, if you're out there and you're yelling something like Black Lives Matter or, like, left-handed gay rights or whatever the fuck it is, I immediately know not to talk to any of you.
Yeah.
There is some level of that. Like, also, Jason was looking at kind of people's dating profiles. And one of the nice things about that shit is the second someone starts identifying themselves, you pretty much have one more step, and is it like, okay, is this person believing in this crap, or does this person realize that this is a place where you might have to do that? Mm-hmm. And it's usually pretty quick to be like, oh, this person fully believes in this fucking non-cisgendered, non-binary, all that crap. You could be like, all right, I don't need this person in my life.
I mean, if you look at a person as a pie chart, and, like, they define themselves in sections, and when, like, 98% of them is defined by a single section, they're not going to be that interesting of a person anyway. I mean, like, I understand that that's a very common thing with kids, because you're young, and you don't know how to create your own identity, so you grab something and you wear it as a shield for a while because you don't have the tools at home to construct this is the person that I am, and only by bouncing off the world wearing your different clothes do you figure out, you know, who or what you are. But some people never come away with that. They just always have a giant blank zone for 98% of their pie chart, and they'll just grab whatever the next thing is and define themselves by that. And I just don't, generally speaking, people like that are not that interesting.
No, not usually.
Because they're just a carbon copy of everybody else who is like that. No matter if there's only 3 people in the entire country that are like that, those 3 people are still going to be too close to the same shit, because they're all defining themselves the same way instead of being an actual human being. And I don't like that. It doesn't jive well with me. But in general, I don't give a shit what you do. I really don't.
No.
Whatever.
Because it takes more effort than anyone was going to put forth anyway. I mean, like, you really have to, like, have a need to lash out, I think. Because there's plenty of things I hate in this one. I'm a generally hate-filled motherfucker, but, you know, to actually go out and activate all over someone's fucking face about it, I don't know.
And I mean, the argument is that, or I assume the argument is that if you don't care, that you're, like, committing a crime of omission or whatever.
It's almost like if you say you don't care, you're one of them.
Yeah, like...
Whatever the opposite.
Like, by not being on the approving side, like, you're allowing the bad side to gain ground against their good side.
Which also requires you kind of, kind of vying for their approval. Because if it's like, you know, if you're not on our side or their side, if you want to prove that you're on our side, if we ask you if you're on our side and you say so, there's some level to which you are going to be judged how adequately on the side you are. Where you fit in and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's also true.
And it might just be one of those, like, if you're not willing to kind of, genuflect and let me go ahead and knight you into this, then
like, yeah, you're not hurting, you're not helping, but by not doing anything, you're hurting more than you're helping.
And you're like, oh, okay.
I don't entirely buy that. I mean, I get it. I understand where you could wield that as an argument, but I'm not convinced.
I think and the other tragedy, once again, is that you're only a bad person once that person's decided that you are a bad person, because you're not doing what they're doing better than they are or equal. And, you know, God forbid you actually be like, okay, fine, bitch, let's get into this shit. Let's do this. And you get better than them at what they're doing? Yeah. That's not going to go well.
Like, you're not going to shake my fucking foundations by telling me about the weird shit you do in your house when you're alone. Like, I'm not freaked out by what you're doing. It's fine. Walk around naked, like, whatever you want to fucking do. Just don't expect me to care.
And if you thought that I think, or think that I thought, that I could just spout off at the mouth about Seattle, don't worry. I've gotten what for. I've gotten what was coming to me. It was very pleasant and over tacos. Maybe that's the takeaway from all this. Everything should be pleasant. And over tacos. Or some sort of taco proxy. It's a thing to work towards. I come from my side, you come from your side, and in the middle, taco proxy. Because life is not always a day at the beach. And sometimes you gotta get into people's faces and just tell them what they want to hear, because there are some things that actually aren't important at all to anyone. But they are still a thing. Like this.
So this guy we met over at Clark's, he met some of the same people I met backpacking and fucking kicking it. Which, by the way, I gotta call that backpacking for professional purposes. When in an interview, the job asked me what was I doing for that year. The best way I can explain it is I was backpacking.
Shit.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I carried a backpack around.
That sounds like a rich white person thing.
Yeah, that's what they want to hear. But I'd rather think of it as beach bum.
And this has been Perfectly Normal Radio. You can find this program, among other fun things, at personorpersons.com. Once again, that's personorpersons.com. Or look for Perfectly Normal Radio wherever you look for podcasts. The old thanks again and more are in the show annotations, so be sure and drink your Ovaltine over at personorpersons.com for stuff you might want to know about stuff we might want to tell you. Like, thanks for listening. Hell, I saw Children of the Corn Part 2 in the goddamn movie theater, and I didn't sleep well for like a week until I finally realized that I was like 7, so there wouldn't really be an issue. I had like a whole decade until it would have even mattered.